What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Spectator Podcast, your space for Miami sports news, vibes, everything you possibly need. I'm here with my partner, my brother, my boy, Juan. What's going on? What's new? What have we been up to? We're gonna do a little bit of a setup now. Tell me about what's going on.
Dude, episode 26, the Saquon Barkley episode, continuing the trend of episodes per athlete. Holy shit. I want to start us off, John. I know to our listeners, we've been in a bit of a hiatus, and I think it's worth addressing a point because we've actually gotten this question a couple of times from other people that have approached us and asked us about it. It's like, hey, how is it having the sport podcast? But holy shit, I cannot stand the off season. It has been tough. All right. And you know what? That was something that you and I talked about when we initially began having this page. We said, what are we going to do during the off season? You know, that awkward period in between like March and September, you know, right before football season starts. And I remember saying, it's like, nah, dude, we'll figure it out. We're smart guys. And it's been tough. I will say it has been tough. So I wanted to get that out there. You know, I know we haven't put out an episode in a while, but trust me, it's not for a lack of trying. It's more for a lack of, listen, there's not a whole lot that has been going on. But nonetheless, we still got a great episode for you guys. But before we do start with the agenda, definitely good to take into account if you are looking to start a sports podcast, well, you'll be competing against us. So good luck with that. But again, off season, it is brutal, 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 and it is not for the faint of heart. That being said, let's go ahead and kick us off with today's agenda. We got still a slew of stuff to talk about today. We got Stanley Cup. We were present at the parade that the Florida Panthers brought in the first Stanley Cup victory in the 30 years of existence. We're going to talk Euro Cup. We're going to talk Copa America. Again, shout out. This is why we're wearing our soccer jerseys today. And we're also going to talk the shit show that is the Miami Heat. That's right, Pat Riley. You weren't going to survive this episode without me grilling you, all right? So let's go ahead and start us off. Stanley Cup. John, what do you think? Why do the rain gods hate us, first and foremost? I want to get that out there.
I don't know that one, but I do think it was appropriate that South Florida celebrated the Stanley Cup win in the pouring rain. I mean, it was literally downpouring, and there was people in no clothes whatsoever. I mean, people came in bathing suits, bikinis, no umbrellas, no rain jackets. They were just raw dogging the rain, or should I say, getting raw dogged by the rain. So I might say
straight up getting just nonstop fellatio from all the clouds. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to put that image out there. If you imagine that, that's on you. That's not on me, by the way.
And it was consensual.
It was. But again, shout out to the South Florida fans. I mean, we were there. We were live. There was people lit. There was people celebrating. And you could just feel the energy all over the beach, okay? Just from the Stanley Cups winning, from the Florida Panthers bringing in the first ever Stanley Cup. And again, we've said it on this podcast before. We are not tremendous hockey guys. Again, I'm not going to front here and tell you that I've been a fan of hockey my entire life, but I do appreciate a championship team when I see one, and hopefully the Miami Dolphins are going to be able to follow suit. John, what was your favorite moment of that parade, if you had to name one?
Throwing the football back and forth. We had someone had a football that was going back and forth over the road, and that was probably my most exciting moment. I got to throw the ball. I think I caught the ball. No, I didn't catch the ball. I picked the ball off the ground. I saved it, and then I threw it back. And then Juan, you also caught it and threw it, right?
We did. And my partner in crime here, John, is actually being modest. He did not throw the football. He absolutely launched it. Okay. He was basically in Miami-Dade County and threw it back into Broward County. That is how far he launched it. Okay, so Miami Dolphins, if your current Alabama quarterback situation does not work out, I have another Alabama alum who's looking to take his spot. Okay, I have the highlight reels. Just let me know. Okay, but yes, parade, absolute sensational. We were just absolutely drenched. We were wet, but you know what? I would much rather take a rainy day celebrating a championship at South Florida than I would take a sunny day with no championships in Edmonton, which, by the way, John, do you even know where Edmonton is? Like, gun to your head, could you point it out?
No clue. How many guess it's in the northwest?
It's very far, okay? If I actually look up population of Edmonton, it's a population of less than 1 million people, okay? Just for reference, that's just a little bit. That's about 12 University of Floridas right there. That is the population of Edmonton. Okay, so I'm sorry, guys, and listen, I'm sorry, Canada, you haven't gotten a championship in since the '90s, since I was born, pretty much. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about that. To be quite honest with you, um, it is what it is. Better luck next year, but we were just the better team. But yes,
I think it looks like a very nice city. That reminds me of Pittsburgh. It looks like the Pittsburgh of Canada.
we're not saying pleasant things about that city. Okay, it might actually be a very genuinely lovely city, but I'm sorry, guys. Better luck next year.
I had a couple takeaways in the parade, though. First, I'm going to give my tier list of moments of the parade.
Demon.
I have three. Number three, going to the bathroom. Number two, throwing and catching the football. And number one was leaving.
It was intense, but probably the best $100 that we've spent on parking ever in my lifetime. Okay, was getting to watch that parade, just watching the guys like swing around the Stanley Cup. Which holy shit, like they really are like us, like for real, because that's the exact same shit we would be doing if we won a championship. Just literally like be pissed drunk, just like being ridiculous. I probably would have broken the cup, honestly, if I had it in that parade. So those guys are probably a lot more nimble than I am, hence why they're athletes and I'm
Do you
not.
think it's a real cup that they have on the bus?
I've wondered that myself, and I did look it up. Supposedly, it is a real cup. Supposedly, it is the real one. So we were face to face with the Stanley Cup. Okay, so. But yeah, man, it was. I'm a little bit disappointed that it was the Panthers that won, and again, not the Dolphins, not the Heat. Again, we've been very, very transparent about that fact on the show that we are again not the biggest hockey fans. Okay, I'm just being transparent with you guys. But again, it was still an awesome experience. It was actually my first parade ever. John, being an Alabama alum, he's experienced many, many parades. But again, it was my first, so I'm glad we got to be there.
It's a memorable parade to be at.
It was a memorable
And
parade.
even with that being said, like neither of us are hockey fans, and I am no more of a hockey fan since going to that parade than I was before going to the parade, or before they won the Stanley Cup, or before I moved to Miami. I still don't care about hockey. I'm just going to be blunt and honest here. No.
But I will ride or die for the Panthers if anyone talks shit about them, especially someone from Canada. Okay, dude, how crazy is it that we're like the most southern or most southeast team in that entire league? So arguably, temperature wise, the hottest team. Okay, and hockey being an ice sport, and like Florida's basically a hockey town if you think about it, because we've had the Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay, in the Stanley Cup Finals, they've won a Stanley Cup Finals in the past couple of years.
Like 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah, and now we won a Stanley Cup Finals. So it's like Florida really is hockey town, USA.
We are hockey.
Yeah, we don't have freezing lakes, but it's just like the minute we find out how to freeze one, we'll whoop your ass on it. Simple as that. Okay, no cap. All right.
So the Florida Panthers have won their first Stanley Cup ever in their 30 years of existence, which is shorter time period since the Dolphins' last Super Bowl, which has been almost 40 or 50 years, 70s.
That really is insane. And it's actually crazy the more you think about it that the existence that the Florida Panthers have had, and in that existence, that the time that it took them to win a Stanley Cup is almost the same length of time the last time that the Miami Dolphins won in the postseason. That's incredibly sad.
0-1.
Seriously. Like, statistically speaking, if you were to flip a coin and make a random bet, do the Dolphins win a playoff game this season, or do the do the Florida Panthers win another Stanley Cup? Statistically speaking, you're most likely to win if you bet the Florida Panthers win in a Stanley Cup. That speaks really ill of the Dolphins, okay? And we'll get to them maybe at some point in this episode. I'm sure I have a rant brewing, now that I got the motors going. But Miami Dolphins, please pick it up. But thank you, Florida Panthers, for, making me not feel miserable. Like a slight bit of joy in being a sports fan is what I felt 2 weeks ago at the parade. All right, moving on from hockey, we got to talk Euro Cup. We got to talk Copa America. And again, as you guys have seen in the show, I am not the soccer expert, all right, on this pen. But John is. But I will start off by saying Colombia taking it all.
It's looking good. I mean, yeah, Colombia, Uruguay, and on the other side, Argentina, Canada. But the Colombia Uruguay game is going to be one of the best soccer matches probably of the year.
Who are you picking, John? And be dead honest with me.
I mean, I'm thinking Uruguay because that's who I've wanted since before the tournament even started. But Colombia's proving themselves to be like legit, super legit contenders.
You hurt my feelings, but I respect your opinion as my podcasting partner, and I respect your soccer knowledge a lot. So I'm going to let that one slide. We'll probably edit that out of today's episode. But
Wednesday's going to be an amazing day. I mean, that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful game to watch.
It is. My mental health, once again, I find that it is riding on the victory of a professional sports team. I've yet to go to therapy to address this, but just to be aware that if Colombia doesn't win this, I will be incredibly, incredibly depressed, and I will have nothing to look forward until the Miami Dolphins begin disappointing me somehow starting in September. So, Colombia, please, I beg you.
He needs this.
I need this, okay? Like, please just win. Please, like, win this whole thing so that my existence means something. That's all I ask. What else do we have on the Euro Cup, John? What other hot takes do we have?
For the Euro Cup, my hot takes are pretty much all done. I had Switzerland versus Germany in the final. That's fallen through. It's England versus Switzerland in the semifinals. It's Netherlands, England, and Spain, France. So what do I think is going to happen? I think France, I hope, because France, I have my only remaining team in my pool is France. So they're doing the whole thing for me to get any money. Please God. So I hope it's France, and I guess I could see England. I could see England making it all the way to the final and then losing to France because the 100 Years of War. But what do you think? You got your Germany shirt on, but they're knocked in on.
Yeah, again, full disclosure, I have not been following the Euro Cups, and again, this is actually a Bayern Munich jersey, which I only got because I was in Munich. I was drunk one day. I saw it at a store, and it's a Thomas Müller jersey, and I only got it because I was like, hey, I know that guy. I might as well buy a Bayern Munich jersey while I'm here. So full disclosure. Do you want to hear something funny though? I do like, and you said the Netherlands are still in the tournament. So I saw a clip of them on Instagram where I got into this like rabbit hole. Okay, but there's a DJ. It's a Dutch DJ. All right, his name is like Skolabolokus, something like that. But he created literally like an EDM song that I don't know if he specifically produced it for the Dutch national team or if he happened to produce it and then the Dutch fans adopted it, but it almost became like an anthem of theirs. Okay, so if you go look up like the Dutch celebrating before any game, like you'll hear it. Which I thought it was like ridiculous. I thought it was super dope that this guy came out of nowhere, made this song, and it just basically became the Dutch anthem. So that's pretty raw. I thought that was pretty interesting, and for that, Netherlands is my favorite.
I like it. I like the net. Like they're a cool team.
They are cool. I fuck with the orange. You know, again as a Gator alum myself, like
oh nice, yeah, there you
orange and blue. So I do have to. But my boy's ex-wife is also from the Netherlands, so I'm a little bit split there.
Because she's the ex-wife.
Because she is the ex-wife. So I feel like
she also is a fan of the Netherlands, though. Still,
that is true. So maybe I don't feel as conflicted.
Also, Gator right here.
That is also true, and was technically our first guest on this podcast. But yes, Netherlands got my vote. But again, full disclosure, I'm pretty retarded, at least when it comes to soccer. So literally, like, don't make any bets on anything that I'm saying. But I do like the Netherlands, because I did like that little quip about the DJ making the song. I thought that was really good. Now for Copa America. So obviously we got our 4. We already talked about it. Colombia is taking it all the way. But holy shit, John, 5-0 against Panama.
Yeah, I mean, Colombia looked good, honestly. Like, okay, so here's my prediction. I don't like Messi, but I'm going to go upset. I'm going to go Canada beats Argentina, YOLO. That would be crazy. I wouldn't love to see Argentinian tears, but it would be interesting to see Argentinian tears when they lose to Canada in the semifinal of Copa America. And then they come to Miami. The final's in Miami. So I hope for your sake and for my sake, because I feel like I would get to enjoy it by proxy. if Colombia came to the final here in Miami, that would be lit. I mean, there's a ton of Argentinians in Miami. There's a ton of fucking Colombians in Miami too. So Canada, Colombia, Copa America final, Colombia lift the trophy in Miami.
How awesome would it be to I feel like it would just be so biblical to have Canada. So again, we already established they lost the Stanley Cup, but to watch them make it all the way to the finals, to then lose in South Florida, okay, which is exactly like how it happened in the Stanley Cup finals. That would just be so fucked up. Like if I was Canadian, which by the way, their economy is just it's in the toilet. Like it is rough out there and it is cold. But then to have this last shred of hope, it was already ripped out of you when you watched the Oilers get beat in 7 by the Panthers. But then to have your country make it to the Copa America final and potentially win in a historic fashion, to then lose to again Colombia, and Colombia sort of is South Florida in a way, that would just be too funny. And I just could not help but laugh. I have a lot of Canadian coworkers and I have a lot of Canadian friends.
Really?
Yeah. And I would feel really bad for them, but at the same time, it would be kind of funny.
They would just be happy. I mean, honestly, I'm really riding with this thing. Like Canada to beat Argentina. If they make it to the final of Copa America, that's such a huge accomplishment. I mean, that's more than America could say. It's more than actually a lot of Central American countries can say.
It's true.
Which would be lit. But that's what I'm rooting for now. Canada, Colombia, Copa America final.
Colombia, all right, so pick the winner between those two.
Colombia. Yeah.
Good answer, John.
I love it. Colombia to win in Miami.
Good answer, John.
To El Patio we go.
I would hope you say that, considering you got married in Colombia.
Yes.
That would be the appropriate answer. So there you guys have it. Colombia versus Canada for the Copa America final. Colombia being the winner. Place your bets accordingly. Again, we just got to make it through Uruguay, which, by the way, I always forget that's a real country up until this tournament. So, that's listen, Department of Tourism in Uruguay, do a better job. Also,
I never really think about that country unless I'm thinking about soccer.
Yeah, they're a great value Argentina. Their flag is basically Argentina, but the wish version, basically. And maybe someone is going to come back and it's just well, Colombia and Ecuador and Venezuela all have the same flags, and it's not the same. We're the original one, okay? We don't have dumb little insignias on ours. Ours is just yellow, blue, and red, okay? I don't know where I'm going.
So yeah, Gol Gala was on June 23rd. Athletic Core Fitness took home first place. Port El Deporte took home second place. All $3,000 going to Athletic Core Fitness. Maybe not the happiest thing for the second place other competitors, but all the prize winnings went to the winner. That's how we do this. Our first tournament, our inaugural tournament for Gol Gala, $66 $3,000 prize. Beautiful crystal trophy. Professional photography by Unico Creative Studio. We had the Jumbotron playing the Euro games, playing the USA versus Bolivia, immaculate vibes, music playing all day, great referees, and it was just a great time. We had a huge crowd out there enjoying our La Tropical beers, the concessions from Cathedral Soccer. Huge shout out to our sponsors, Champ Condoms and Wipes, Miami Beach Bum, Owen Protein Shakes, Element Electrolytes, and Private Wealth Group by Insignio. All made this possible. It was an awesome time. It was really great to get the event done in the beginning of Copa America because all of the event organizers and hosts came out after our event to do their own versions of soccer tournaments and activations and stuff. And so it was so nice to kind of just be able to sit back and watch these other people put on these great events. And yeah, we're looking forward to doing our next one. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Gol Gala will probably be an inaugural event, but we're looking at doing some other things. I mean, we love soccer, and that was a huge success for us. So, we're going to be doing events across all sports. We did the Dolphins watch party last season. We did this Gol Gala event this season. We're going to be doing definitely more Dolphins watch parties during this football season. We've got a lot of stuff planned. We are the sports spectator. We're not the football sports spectator. We're not the baseball sports spectator. We are the sport spectator. So we're spectating every sport in Miami, and we've got lots of events coming up. But that was our second one. Successful in many ways. Lots of lessons learned as well. But we had great support from our sponsors and partners. So thanks to everybody. And yeah, let's move on to the next thing.
Wow.
That one was much better.
Let the record show that I'm aroused. I'm to that. Beautifully done, John. Absolutely. And I think you put it best that we are the sports spectator. Again, not the basketball, not the football, not the soccer, not the crickets. Okay. We spectate all sports. And as we've been saying from day one, okay, we are essentially putting Miami on the map because we are demonstrating that Miami, unfortunately, as most people say, is full of bandwagon fans, but we are disproving that. That again, we are full of passionate fans, fans that want to be involved in the community, that want to be involved with their sports during the good times and the bad times. Okay, and I think fair to say that we've already had two very successful events where people turned up. They were happy to celebrate our sports teams. They were happy to just celebrate sports in general.
Yeah, and they were happy to be around just some cool motherfuckers. And when I say that, I refer to us, all right? Us two people.
Get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. And also, I want to make a clarification. We are not bandwagon Panthers fans because we already admitted we don't give a shit about hockey.
So we can't be bandwagon.
So we can't, but we will ride or die for them.
We will.
So if you come looking for the smoke, you're gonna find a chimney. All right? Two chimneys right here because we stood in that damn pouring rain for hours. And so yeah, come at us.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right, guys. So of course, more to come on our next watch party. As always, stay tuned. We will be posting more information on that. All right, John. Before we conclude today, I got to get a lot of stuff off my chest. All right. We've been very nice this episode. All right. It's all been happy stuff. Euro Cup, Copa America, Gol Gala. It's all good. But I got to make it a little bit personal and talk about the Miami Heat. Okay. First and foremost, I said it a little bit earlier this week with us just having celebrated Independence Day. So, John, quick history question for you. Do you know what the 4th of July, essentially what it encompassed? All right. I'm looking for a very specific answer. So if you don't say it,
Independence from England.
The independence. So essentially what we were becoming independent from, what would you say that was?
We were becoming independent from the lack of representation in.
That is technically true. That is the textbook answer. The answer that I was looking more for here is that we became independent from a tyrannical government, okay? The monarchy. And you know what I'm looking to do? I'm looking to become independent from the tyrannical overseeing kings, if you will, that is the Miami Heat front office. Because what the fuck are you guys doing this offseason? And again, I feel like usually I ask these questions slightly sarcastically because I'm usually very, very on board with whatever the Miami Heat front office is doing, but not this time around. Okay, please explain to me exactly what we're doing. All right, we still don't have a Jimmy Butler extension. Okay, what pieces have we gotten that is moving the needle forward? We didn't get DeMar DeRozan. He went to the Kings. Okay, the only thing we just did is literally today we re-signed Haywood Highsmith, which again, sensational player. I'm all about him. But is he going to be the guy that allows us to beat the defending champions of the Boston Celtics? Is he going to be the guy that allows us to beat the Sixers, who just became better with Paul George? Is he going to be the guy that allows us to beat the Indiana Pacers, who, again, out of nowhere are suddenly a contender in the East? Is he going to be the guy that allows us to beat the New York Knicks? Probably not. All right. So if we're simply trying to field, okay, like a double A YMCA league team, and we're doing just that because I feel like that's all we're doing. All right, and maybe I'm being a little bit disrespectful, and maybe I don't see the vision, but I feel like we've gone year after year of running it back, and again, the results has been the same 2 years in a row. We were the 8th seed playing in the play-in tournament. Okay, just to and again, I understand that the last year we made it to the finals, but seriously, Pat Riley. What are we doing? If there's a vision, I'm not seeing it. And maybe Eric Spoelstra is too busy coaching the Olympic national team, but I just don't understand.
He's not even with the Heat right now.
He's not even with the Heat. And it's just like what is this roster that we're putting together? And maybe the answer is these two guys that we drafted, Khalil Ware out of Indiana, and then the other guy that we drafted, I'm forgetting his name because I'm just like so blistering mad right now going on this rant. Maybe those guys are the answers, okay? But otherwise, I'm not seeing it. John, maybe you're seeing it.Maybe you see a vision that I'm not seeing. But I don't understand what the Heat front office is doing. They're very tyrannical, okay? I feel like they're imposing a tax on my mental health, okay? So moving it back around to this metaphor where I'm becoming independent from the UK, like I need us to become independent from the Miami Heat front office. Your time is done. Your tyranny over, Miami-Dade County, all right, is going to come to an end. I don't know how, but it's got to stop. All right. I don't know what product we're going to be putting out there this season. All right. Jimmy is getting older. He's obviously displeased. Is Bam going to be doing everything? Potentially. Tyler Hero, obviously, he's upset. What's it going to be? We're going to rely on Jovic, on Hawkes. What's going on with this? And that is my rant.
I would like to think that Eric Spoelstra, being an assistant coach for the U.S. men's team, is going to be our intelligence agent and convert one of those players to join us. Who could be a possible person? Kevin Durant?
No one, because there's no free agents left, John. That's the thing. There's no one left. There was DeMar DeRozan, all right. Obviously, we didn't get him. There was Donovan Mitchell. He ended up resigning with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then
there's Bol.
Yeah, yes, there's guys out there, but it's like
you bring Bol to Miami, bro. 7'3". He's exactly what he is, you know.
I mean, fuck it, maybe. I just don't know what else we do at this point.
You know what's funny? This man is 7'3". He has more points per game than he has rebounds. 5 points per game, 3 rebounds. 7'3".
That's not bad.
Let's go. Bring him on in.
Fuck it. I will try anything at this point. Shit, bring Caitlin Clark for all I care at this point. Like, find a way to bring Caitlin Clark to Miami. Like, we just need another playmaker out there. And I've been bullied and I've been abused mentally, borderline physically at times at some of these games, watching the Miami Heat play because we didn't get Dame last season and that really hurt. All right. We haven't gotten anyone. John, do you know the list of people that have listed the Miami Heat as their preferred landing spot? Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell, obviously Damian Lillard, okay? DeMar DeRozan even listed it one time. But who of those, you know how many we've landed? Zero, okay? Like the number of brain cells that I think the Miami Heat front office has, all right? So maybe I'm not seeing the vision. Legitimately, that could be it. Like maybe they're cooking up something that I'm just not seeing, but it's getting very hard for me to keep faith in this team. And that's all I got to say. So I don't know what to look forward to next season. Maybe I will be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not holding my breath. Miami Heat. So there you have it.
I'm looking at the free agents. There's really nobody. I mean, so there's people I don't know. I don't know basketball that well. Gary Trent Jr. from the Raptors averages 13 points a game. He's 25.
Do you think a guy named Gary Trent Jr. is going to move the needle, John?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
You're going to get excited to watch a guy named Gary? like if you get the ESPN notification, all right, without you even being a basketball fan, that says Gary Trent and Miami Heat agree to a 2-year contract. Is that something that sincerely gets you excited? A guy named Gary.
I'm all in. He's a junior, so I mean, hopefully he came from a good Gary.
Actually, Gary Trent he's actually kind of a baller, so it actually wouldn't be a bad pickup.
Yeah.
But I just respectfully, I can't get excited for a guy named Gary. No Diddy.
No. Can't get excited for a guy named Gary. No Diddy.
No.
And that's a famous quote.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, the only names I recognize are names that they're old as fuck. Eric Gordon, still averaging 11 points a game, 35 years old. And my personal favorite, Gordon Hayward. He's 34 though.
Well, and you know what? He was supposed to be a Miami Heat when he was actually hot a couple years back, but then obviously we fumbled on that one.
He snapped his leg off.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Pat Riley, like why he just loves to run it back. Like,
what do you think Pat Riley's doing right now? What do you think he has been doing?
Dude, I think he's got like Joe Biden-itis. Like he just
not a good look.
He's asleep at the wheel, if I'm being honest. And again, people will tell me that I don't know ball and that and yes, I've said it many times that I'm kind of retarded on this podcast, and maybe people will use that against me, and that's fair, okay? But at least I'm mentally I'm all here. Not like Pat Riley. I can't say the same about that guy because again, I don't know what's going on.
We should have a Pat Riley tracker. We should find out where he is and just put like an Apple AirTag into something. Just
Like, you're gonna put us on some kind of list we can't do.
already on a list. Put me on another one. I like it.
Oh, dude, but yeah, it's
I'm just Googling. Where is
like I had to witness the Celtics raise like a banner this season. It's not good. I think literally me getting CTE would be better for my mental health than like having witnessed that.
That's pretty.
It was painful. And I've been very honest about how much I detest the region that is New England. And I really hate that the Mavericks couldn't do this. Sincerely, like I don't know basketball anymore because Dallas like had the way harder track. You know, they beat they basically beat the West. All right, they beat the Timberwolves, who had beat the Nuggets. Like statistically, they were supposed to be the better team. And Boston bullied an injured Miami Heat team. They beat an also injured Pacers team. Okay, like I don't know basketball anymore. Okay, I just don't know. Left is right, up is down, like red is blue. It's insane. Somehow they did it, and I had to witness that. The only thing that made up for it was watching the Panthers hoist the Stanley Cup. Other than that, I'm not doing well, John. That's all I got to say.
Why he signed Alec Burks? Do you know that?
Do you know that guy? Do you get excited by the name Alec Burks? Is that a name that inspires like championship? You know what that says to me? That says that's a guy who maybe puts us in contention for the in-season tournament. That's what a name like Alex Burks does. All right. And you know what? I hope that me bad mouthing the guy, someone finds this clip and edits it when maybe he's a superstar and tells me, oh, you were wrong. He's actually really good. And I'm fine with that. Okay. But right now, I'm not happy. You know, like we haven't signed anyone. And that's that. That is my rant.
That's that. Yeah, I mean, not much looking great from him, honestly.
Yeah. It's my mental health will be put to the test this Dolphin season coming up. It's going to be very pivotal. Tua's fifth year. I think it's going to be his make it or break it year. We're going to see what the Heat do, but I think after this year could be an official rebuild if the Heat and the Dolphins don't do something. Okay.
The Miami Hurricanes are going to do something.
I hope so. Yeah, they're going to beat UF. They're going to beat UF. That's what they're going to do. So yeah, I got to put up with that. That even my college team is going to be atrocious.
I was talking to someone the other day. I forget who it was, but they were like, "Oh yeah, like Florida should be pretty decent." I'm like, "Are you on drugs, or are you like, do you have some learning disability?" Like,
for like a D2 school, I think we'd actually be. Yeah, we'd probably be like a top tier D2 school. But it's dude, we got the toughest schedule in the fucking country.
Yeah,
like
it's so crazy.
We'll probably, I think we have like Stanford. That's maybe our one cupcake game. Other than that, we're just getting reamed by the SEC. Like the commissioner just got pissed off. He's like, "Oh, Texas and Oklahoma joining an SEC. Fuck Florida. That's what I'm going to do about it." I don't know what the fuck we did to deserve that. Like poor Billy Napier, poor DJ Lagway. Like our first year freshman. Fucking quarterback is getting put through the gauntlet. So I don't know, John. It's my mental health is not going to do well next season.
Go Reds, go!
Yeah,
almost got those.
That's you know what, we got the Pants. All right, and maybe Colombia. No, you know what? And yes, Colombia.
I can't wait. Colombia, Canada, final.
Dude, Colombia, Canada, final. But that is it. That is all I got to say. I might be blacklisted from the AAA after this, but you know what? Fine with that.
The AAA. What's the AAA?
Come on, John.
AAA.
Wait, is that a dead serious question?
I'm dead serious.
Holy shit, dude! When did you move to Miami?
Not long ago enough, I guess.
Oh wow, yeah, that was the name of where the Heat used to play. The
okay.
Known as the AAA. You're gonna have to edit that.
I'm an honest man. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know a lot. Don't know a lot.
Oh man. All right, we're gonna try to continue drudging through this off season. You know, my mental health hanging in the balance for these next couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes, but we'll still be here. We'll still be creating wonderful events. We'll still be bringing you either the best takes or the worst takes, depending on who you ask, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, we're getting through this off season. Football's around the corner, college football. is around the corner.
Fucking, I can't wait.
It's gonna be fucking lit. All right, John. Any last minute parting words?
Thank you to Mindspace. This might be our new home for recording podcast episodes. We're no longer with WeWork. We are now hashtag Team Mindspace. So huge shout out. Mindspace Miami, locations in downtown and in Wynwood. We are in the beautiful Wynwood location right now, right in between Wynwood and Midtown. And it's amazing. It's great. So we'll be seeing you from here more often, and we'll be seeing you more often. So thank you, everybody, and let's go Canada and Colombia, baby.
Canada and Colombia, baby.
Peace.
Episode 26. That's a wrap.